Hi guys, Crolister here with another long play. Continuing on the Mega Man Legacy Collection playthrough series, I will be playing the worst and my least favorite of these games to play through, Mega Man 3. I'm sitting back and letting the title music loop. Just like with the other games, you have 8 main bosses that you take on in any order you choose, as long as it's with your playstyle. For Mega Man 3, a good boss to start with would be Top Man. Bolt and nut tins cannot be destroyed until they've properly assembled. And Mecha Heroes can be a little bit of a nuisance. The top shot by the Coma Suburos have a chance of dropping a power-up. Memorize, memorize, memorize. We got Pikmin on these mechanisms. Shoot them in the face before you progress. We got the iconic metals. Their bullets move slower in this game compared to the previous one. This game introduces Mega Man's evasion slide move, which you can do by pressing jump while holding the downward direction. These tigers also shoot fleas at you if they're... That one does if its fur balls go off screen and it's not destroyed. I'm trying to fix the issue some of my older videos had where there was a hideous scan line in my videos, and I think I know how to avoid doing that now. As you can see, it's not in this video. Top Man is a pretty easy boss to deal with, and he takes more than 1 point of damage per hit with just a Mega Buster. Just remember that he's invincible while doing the top spin. Next, we're gonna do Shadow Man. Just like with the previous game, I am making saves at the start of every stage so I can reset them if I screw the stage up. It's a lot more notorious for me in this game. That's Proto Man, Mega Man's unsuspecting brother. He was the first robot that Dr. Light ever made, back where he and Dr. Wily were still friends. And he had a malfunction with his main energy drive, though went missing before he could be scrapped. And he just so happens to show up in person in this game, where you, in the story at least, would least expect him. Throughout this specific game, at least, there's no confirmation until the end whether he's friend or foe. The holograms make the surrounding area invisible, unless you move away from them or destroy them. And then the walking bombs, which are the grenades, will damage you if you're in their blast radius after you shoot them. You have to be extra careful around these platforms for these parasues. Just kind of jump forward and immediately move back with air control to get past them. And mind the Mecha Kyros that appear in some of these as well. See, there's a Mecha Kyro right there that can screw you up if you're not careful. Sliding obviously helps you move faster. Shadow Man's weakness is the top spin, and due to the way the attack processes in this game, it is a bit unfair. If you attack him with it at the wrong position, your weapon can deplete dangerously, and then you're in big trouble. You get the Rush Marine after you beat Shadow Man. Next up, we're gonna do Spark Man. Electric gabules cannot be destroyed. Just wait for their electric pattern. Jump while shooting while going through here to get past the Elecans. Hammer Joes are invincible before they let down their visor. If you're on flat ground directly up close to one of them, you can jump or slide to get past their wreckers that they throw. To get past these, simply keep walking and jump over the blocks. There is no need to wait to shoot the one that falls on top of it. That's only going to slow you down even more. The bolt and nuttons make getting past these elevators with the spiked ceiling quite infuriating. The Shadow Blade, which happens to be Sparkman's weakness, is a weaker version of the Metal Blade. It can only be thrown into 5 different directions, and it has more limited range. While Sparkman is not that tough, his attack with his jumping and the spark shot can still corner you easily. The special weapon that he gives you, the Spark Shock, can stun enemies in place momentarily. Which, in some scenes, can be useful. Magnet Man is next. Being that Mega Man is a metal robot, the Magflies will drag him a little bit once you get underneath them. Be careful while jumping across the gaps. You gotta fight Proto again here. If you memorize good enough, like me, you can just keep firing straight and slide while he's jumping. The giant springers shoot a seeker missile. Unless you destroy the springer first, it'll shoot another one. Wait for the Paterchis before you get up here. Those generators you see are a magnet that'll draw Mega Man towards them. Be careful with the Paterchis. Now we have the infamous appearing and disappearing block sequence here. Some of which with a magnet, making it even worse. Wait while I try to get up here without using Rush Coil. And then you have to do these across gaps. There. I'll use the Shadow Blade to take out this new Shockman. Like it matters. Like it matters. Magnet Man's weakness is the Spark Shock. He also takes more than 1 point of damage with just the Mega Buster, making him a pretty decent stage to start on as well, other than Top Man. He's invincible while doing the Magnet Pull. Now we're gonna do Hard Man. While the top spin can be a useful weapon to deal with clusters of weak enemies by default, the Chibis that appear from the Hapsabis are immune to that attack, unfortunately. So you have to rely on the Mega Buster to get through them. The one-ons that appear from these platforms will damage you if you're not quick to get over them. Use Rush Coil to reach higher ledges. You have Rush Coil to start in the game. Rush Jet and Rush Marine have to be unlocked. The top spin can make getting past the Monk Kings easier. Observe. We got Pikmin here. Or I guess Picklemen in the older games. You got Habsabes and Wanons mixed here, so it's hard to avoid damage. And then Proto Man appears here, and since you're not on a flat surface, it's a lot easier to take damage against him. These giant hoppers will be less annoying after I deal with Hard Man. For Hard Man, use the Magnet Missile. This boss is hard to beat without taking hits. He also stuns you after he lands, regardless of where you are. So, avoid getting directly underneath him. Alright, so now that those 5 are down, here's the first reason why Mega Man 3 is my least favorite game in the classic series. The remaining 3 Robot Masters are weak in a rotation to their special weapons, not any of the 5 you previously dealt with. And they're a lot harder to beat than the others are. Snake Man happens to be one of my least favorites in the series to fight against. These petite snakies are also annoying as hell, so... Move out of the way immediately once you get directly underneath the Potens. And move carefully around the Boobacons. Wow, I missed a health capsule. That's bad. I got one there. Question mark cans have a randomly decided pickup item in them. On rare occasions, they can get you an energy tank. In Mega Man Legacy Collection, you could cheat by using pause saving or the rewind in order to get a better power-up from them, if you wanted. The Bubukan is invincible while it's on its pole vault. You have to wait for it to land before you can shoot him. And if you didn't destroy it before it appeared, it'll respawn. You have to jump before the platforms come up from there, or they'll push you off. And be careful about shooting the cloud-type robots that have a bullet in them. Shoot them while they're well away from where you're gonna be moving along these. Bad. Snake Man's weakness is actually the needle cannon, which I already explained what the problem with that was earlier. And I simply cannot avoid damage with him, so he's one of my most hated bosses in the series. I couldn't help using an energy tank here. And I needed it. Alright, now we'll do Gemini Man. It's recommended you beat Shadow Man before you go for Gemini Man in any playthrough. This stage looks like the background of the Mega Man Legacy Collection thumbnail from your console's home menu. Proto Man actually helps you in this scene. Holes appear after you shoot these eggs, so keep shooting as you break through them. You have to use Rush Coil to get up here. Be careful around the Yombos and the Peppy Makers. I might as well grab that right here. This is why you want to use Rush Marine here. Just keep in mind you have to pick up the resource energy capsules while you're doing it, because just going without them is not going to make the whole trip. The damage dealt by the torpedoes shot from the whale-type robots is also brutal. I only barely made it there. Well, we got more than one energy tank, which is good news. We got Mecha Heroes. And one of them screwing me over. The giant hopper robots can be destroyed with one shot with the hard knuckle. You just have to wait for them to jump. And then Gemini Man's weakness is the search snake. During the duplication scene, it'll shoot as soon as you shoot. And then for the solo go, he jumps as soon as you fire. So a light jump and turn back will do him in. This leaves Needleman. Shoot the Gemini laser as soon as you approach the Harrys, or you're not going to be able to destroy them. You have to be very careful around these skewers, especially this one. Hammer Joes can be destroyed in one hit with the hard knuckle. Not that I'm gonna use it here. I am going to use it up here, though. And then Needleman's weakness is the Gemini laser. If you miss with the Gemini laser, you're left defenseless until it leaves the screen, and it takes a while to leave the screen. So, try not to miss. You get Rush Jets after beating Needleman. Alright, now here's the other reason why Mega Man 3 sucks. The Dock Robot. Seriously, I hate this guy. For the Dock Robot, you're doing more difficult versions of 4 of the stages. And you battle him at the midpoint and end of every stage, with the abilities of the Robot Masters from the previous game. There's a Bug-type robot on the ladder up here, so use the Shadow Blade or Gemini Laser. The Shadow Blade is also useful on these Elekins. There are small platforms that will rotate and move Mega Man into the direction they're rolling in, much like a conveyor belt, so cross them carefully. Spikes obviously kill you on contact. Alright, so... in this scene, the Dock Robot adorns the ability of Metal Man, and is weak against the Magnet Missile. I'm not taking any chances here. We got one of the worst fights in the series next. We're gonna move around some electric gabules and bolt and nuttons. Then, up here, you got what is one of the most hateful fights in the entire series. Dock Robot as Quick Man, and his weakness is the Gemini Laser, a weapon you cannot afford to miss with. I couldn't beat him without using an energy tank. Forgive me. Hate that guy so much. We're back in Needleman's stage now. Wow, I missed. That's awful. Skewers. I'm gonna get that energy tank just to be safe. In this game, Rush Jet can move around freeform. In all the other games, Besides it goes straight forward, making it a lot less maneuverable. In this scene, the Dark Robot inherits the power of Airman, and its weakness is the Spark Shock. The air shooter attacks deflect all weapons, so you have to aim carefully. I took brutal damage up ahead. You need to use Rush Jet to get through here. Mind the Parasus and Yombos. You also have a double shot with the Mega Buster instead of a triple shot while using Rush Jet. You require to pick up the energy capsules along the way in order to make the whole trip. I gotta get through that Bubicon right. I can't afford another hit. Yes. This giant metal takes damage on the plus shape on its helmet. If you want to play patiently, you can shoot the metals it spawns and pick up any resources they may drop. Yes, that'll do nicely. These metals have propellers on them and will fly around. I did grinding against this giant metal as well, and completely forgot that there was a large health capsule just after it, so... see. Alright, so this Dark Robot will inherit the ability of Crash Man, and is weak against the Hard Knuckle. You have to be careful about where to shoot it, though, since Crash Man jumps as soon as you shoot. Usually. The Hard Knuckle can also be steered up and down while it's being fired. Now we're gonna go to the Gemini Man stage again. This Dark Robot stage isn't as difficult as the previous ones, and the next one are. shoot our way through some poles here. This one inherits the ability of Flash Man. I'll use the needle cannon. You can't really avoid damage here. You need Rush Marine to get through here. That's a good pupper. Mega Man's maximum jumping height is increased while underwater, so he can reach that ladder. And now we're gonna confront the Bubble Man Dock Robot. Similarly to how Bubble Man was weak to the Metal Blade, this one's weak to the Shadow Blade. That one's easier compared to some of the others. Just mind the spikes on the ceiling. Alright, Shadow Man. A lot more spikes in this one. The holograms and the platforms that open as soon as you land on them can make this part of the stage quite infuriating. So use Rush Jets to make it a lot easier. This Dock Robot inherits the ability of Woodman and can be quite infuriating, as the damage dealt by the Leap Shield attack is brutal, and it's invincible before it shoots it off. Another of my most hated battles in the series. They give you a large health recovery after that one for a reason. Then, after that hell is over with, you got more tricky jumping with Pirasus and Mecha Kyros. And then, you gotta fight the Heat Man Dock Robot, and his weakness happens to be the top spin. This is why this is my least favorite game in the series. The classic series, anyway. So now we're fighting this mysterious Break Man character, which is actually Proto Man in a mask. While Legacy Collection says Proto Man's weakness is supposed to be the hard knuckle, Break Man is immune to it. So, just use the Mega Buster like this. Way to spell Wily wrong. This game doesn't have as much flashing as the previous game did. There's just some parts where the screen will flash during the Wily stages. Like as soon as the stage starts. Gamma is a gigantic robot that Light and Wily were working on in collaboration as though they were friends again, while Mega Man was out dealing with Proto Man and the Robot Masters. Then after you get the final element, as Light details, Wily runs off with the robot, clearly confirming that he's still evil. That's what's going on here. There are peppies here, so be careful while you're jumping along these spikes. These distinct walls can be destroyed with the hard knuckle, if you wanted the resources they were guarding. A well-aimed and steered hard knuckle will get you past this Hammer Joe. We got an appearing block sequence here, an easy one. The first boss in the Wily stage is easy. Just arm yourself with the Shadow Blade and shoot as soon as the generators spawn their turtles. Each turtle will pick up speed as you shoot through them. The torrents of water will push you, so kinda be careful of where they appear. Otherwise, this boss is easy. To make up for the nearly impossible ones we had to fight earlier. I'm not good at jumping along these opening platforms. just get the Shadow Blade, and that'll be all. There's a Hapsody here, so you gotta be careful crossing. They're immune to the top spin, like I said. Now we need to use Rush Jet here. Alright, we made it to the boss. If you've played or watched the first game in the series, this boss will be familiar. It's the Yellow Devil. Its weakness is the hard knuckle, and its movement pattern at first looks like it might be easier. Emphasis on at first, though. Unless you use Rush Jet, that movement is about impossible to avoid. I need to use the energy tank, alright. There we go. You can destroy the holograms with the Shadow Blade to help you see. Scenes like these are always fun. The holograph Megaman's weakness is the Search Snake, and the vulnerable one is always the one at the top, I think. After that, it can be random. The attack from the junk golems can be difficult to avoid. You can destroy them with one hit with the top spin. You need to use another weapon to get through the mystery tanks, though. After that, the series tradition of having to fight the bosses again. In this game, the Robot Master's capsules are placed in their official numeric order, making it easier to memorize where they are. I'm gonna do Shadow Man first because he ticked me off in a previous buffering during this recording. Now I'm gonna do an easier one to make sure my health gets full. Now we're gonna do the dreaded Snake Man. Like I said, his weakness is the needle cannon, and even then, he's still hard. It's not often I legitimately dodge his hard knuckle attack. Save the easiest one for last. I only need to refill a select handful of weapons. You have to wait a moment for the Wily machine. After one step further, you just fire away with the Spark Shock to take out the turret quickly. And then the Hard Knuckle to hit Wily himself. That'll take him out quickly. Flashing screen. Turns out to be a decoy. There is no need to have that many resources right here. That was just a light troll from Capcom. Do you remember the Gamma robot we talked about earlier? This is him. Start with the Shadow Blade and shoot upward to take out the first part. Then once Wily appears, it'll shoot a bullet from its mouth at a set pace and punch at you with its left arm. It only uses a left arm because the right arm was never completed. And then to take him out super quickly, once you get up here, use the top spin. And while he's begging for mercy, the ceiling collapses. And it looks like both Wily and Mega Man get crushed. Somebody rescues him, and we have an epilogue. Number listed robots made by Dr. Wright. That's actually his name in Japanese. The letters R and L use the same Japanese characters, so they're notorious for mistranslations. And it reiterates the robots from the first Mega Man game. And there's Proto Man's entry right there. And then as Mega Man looks into the distance, you see that blue blip in the upper right corner. That's Wily's UFO, confirming that he escaped. And then we got staff credits starting with the Robot Masters, which were made by Japanese fans. And with that wraps up the Mega Man 3 playthrough. I will be doing the entire Canon Classic series at some point, so subscribers stay tuned for more. And at some point up ahead, I'll bring about Mega Man 4, which is a much better game in the series in my opinion. I am Crawlister, the Master Opponent. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you guys in my next video from here. Bye.